Hello, bonjour. It is your friendly Anglo in Quebec City. Oh, it is the morning of December 3rd, um, 2024. And I woke up um, with sunshine in my heart, but also a feeling, you know. Have you had one of those recently, people? A feeling besides fear? Well, I had a feeling that with my new role, what I'm doing in my new awareness is a lot of fun, a lot of fun. And I want to keep it fun, but it also has to be very real, right? I won't do anything that's not real. So when I tell you I am an Anglo in Quebec City, I'm sending a message. And I come from British Columbia, this life. In my previous videos, I've explained that we don't die. We just simply cannot die. We are made of crystal. The crystal lights in your pupils, not in your forehead, aliens. In your pupil are, it's sodium and water and it's crystal. And you come from water. And you're never born and you never die. Do you hear me? You're never born and you never die. You are. You are the way you are. And you come and you experience different lives that you want to, that you plan to. And you have had many, many names and many, many families and many, many opportunities to expand your emotional intelligence. How? By using your senses. That when you are, the in the spirit form again, in your crystal light, you don't have the human vessel to experience senses of scent, taste, touch, right? All of those. Aristotle told you all about them. But Aristotle, being a man, only knew about 5 senses. And we are far greater than 5 senses. Every cell in our body can be reproduced and created again and again and again because every cell is us. We just are. And we don't die. And we are not born. We are. It's a feeling of awareness. And you're enough just being aware. Like, I know you're trying to achieve things here, right? It's all about lessons and about getting somewhere and getting ahead and making something of yourselves, right? That's what you think. You are of yourselves. You have had so many life experiences that you forgot about. And they're not all in the place you are today. Wherever you are today, in whatever circumstance, you picked it. You're aware of it. Your consciousness is not, your present tense as you are, is in a trance, unaware of anything to do with your life. And I know this because I'm aware. Now, I'm not judging. In fact, I'm pretty much against judgment. I'm just aware. And being aware always, it doesn't change for me. I am. And you are. We are all part of the one source. And if you don't know who the source is, anybody could tell you anything. And you could live your whole life believing in these outside gods who talk about your life and death as if it's a punishment and reward here. Well, they got you then, right? They got you. And I am sitting here this morning going, how honest do I want to be here? Because honesty here is risky. Honesty in a land of lies is risky because people get offended when you get too close to the truth, ladies. And especially the intuitive power of women that we behold and don't know about. But men do. And women scare men because it was set up like that, in the scripture, the first scripture. It was set up to fear your mothers and women in general. Because God did, right? God was punishing women according to Abraham and all of them people. These are stories that you've heard about from outside people. Through your ears, you heard them. And in your heart, you let them in. And you allowed their awareness of fear and judgment to take over you with their God. And there was a Jesus. Yes, Jesus came and went. But he didn't get born again. And he didn't die again. He always was. As you always are. Always. You can't die. You're not going to be reborn. You'll be aware. Now, my whole life and awareness at this time, I'm 65 years old. My son died in 2003. I keep repeating history. He dies in the worst possible ways all the time. Yeah, I'm aware. But he doesn't die, right? And I'm also aware of that. But if you try to talk about it here, people will call you crazy, like my family did. And so you've got a son that's no longer in your physical realm, and you got a family who thinks you're crazy. So what happens to people when fear and judgment take over? Like I mean, my family told me I was messing with demons. Well, they didn't know my feelings. They didn't know my experience, my awareness. But they have these ideas that they got from outside sources. Maybe the Bible, the Holy Bible, which is about as holy as my lace curtains in the window. There's nothing more critical for me to get through than honesty. And that is the way I will stay. And it is going to offend a lot of people, okay? And I am going to be fine, aware. What's going to happen is I'm going to go out into Quebec City as I am. And who I am is a 65-year-old woman who has been traumatized this life over and over again by fear and judgment of people, even within my own family. And I want to expose it in this one, in this awareness where I am today. I am fearless and I hold no judgments. I want to show you. I want to show you awareness and how our consciousness, when we begin to calculate people and dissect sheep's eyeballs in grade 8 as a way of passing the time in mass formation, all learning the same, all learning by the same masters like Darwin the monkey or Aristotle, the guy with only 5 senses, doesn't understand women at all. So you have to demonize her. Demonize her. And that's what happened. And we haven't had the love and comfort of the feminine spirit for a long time. We haven't had her intuitive power to know that our awareness is fading and we are not remembering our lives. Our awareness is here. And so pretty much just spending time here and then not remembering anything for any reason. It's just time. Just serving time and doing time, sometimes in a really miserable way. Sometimes you come and you create misery for others, chaos, because you have this feeling you want to. And sometimes you come as a victim of the people creating the chaos. What you don't know is that the people that you're harming the most are probably the ones you're in contract with and love and have had time with over and over and over again because you love to play together. But we can play together in harmony and peace and use our human side. We have nothing to learn here. Everything we want, we know already. You know everything. You've never died. You were never born. You know everything. And so if I go out into the world and start pretending that or hiding for people, like protecting people. You see, what I'm trying to say is when I got to Quebec after I went homeless at 60 years age, yeah, homeless. That's what happens. You lose your tribe because of fear and judgment. And some people end up out on the street. And the others don't even care or know because they have no feelings here. Their awareness is gone. And they won't have memories of anything. So, except misery, and tears and fear. And my intention is not to harm anyone. Never. And if you think so, you're going to be your problem. I'm aware. I'm aware. And when you're aware, nothing can hurt you. There's nothing to worry about. No debt, no death, no birth, and no commitments or vows or opportunities to learn something new when you know everything. And all we need to do is be aware. So, in my awareness, and as I was reset, my whole journey was about the reincarnation of Jesus and Mary, basically, because it was so fascinating to me to find these things out. But in fact, it really wasn't a big deal. We're all of one. We are all crystallites of the ocean. And we are. We just are. I am. I'm never born. I never die. I'll pop up somewhere else in some other vessel. Or I'll come back to this vessel, which I did. This vessel of mine got the shit kicked out of her. And it was really sickly. It arrived in Quebec. It stayed at Airbnbs as a visitor until it became obvious this is where I was going to be settling. And the stars and the moon and the sun all lined up for me to make it happen. And it did. Everything like I need or want appears before my eyes. And it's like I guess, white magic as opposed to the black magic of fear and judgment will create blackness within the crystal eyes of the judger or the one afraid or the one scaring people because they get off on it. And that's what happened to me a lot of times in Quebec City. People like to scare people, especially kids at Halloween. It's not just Halloween anymore. We got to scare kids all the time. And that's a problem. When I'm aware, I don't want to be alone, in my awareness. I'm tired of being alone in my awareness. I like company. Are you lonely too? Hey, I got a tip for you. I live in Quebec. It's quite cold here. And if you have a bed, big bed, like I got a double bed here, and you're cold at night, get yourself a heating pad. I don't know if you can see this. Probably not. I got a heating pad right beside me. And it reminds me of my ex-husband, when my feet were cold, ice cold. I used to have to plant them all over his body through the night. Because, uh, that's what women do. And I don't have a man. And my feet are still getting cold at night. So here's a tip, tourist tip or whatever kind of tip you want to take it as. Get a heating pad, lay it beside you, and if your feet get cold, just move them on up and touch that pad. I wouldn't lie directly on a heating pad, by the way. That's stupid. Unless you really got sore bones. Yeah, just be aware of your knowing. And you already know. And you already know. the answer. And you can guess if you don't. Guess. Practice guessing at what you think you don't know. So I'm going to go out into Quebec this month. It's December 3rd, and it is a beautiful city, guys. I do highly recommend coming to see Quebec City and Quebec in general. And bring your awareness of being aware, and I will show you what I became aware of and how it doesn't affect me one way or the other anymore. And nothing can affect you when you are aware. There is no death. There's no birth. There's only awareness. Always. We come from the ocean. We are of sodium and water ourselves. Never fear and never judge. And if you pick up the Holy Bible, that's pretty much all you're going to live by is fear and judgment and no awareness of your own all-knowing. So if you see me out there, Anglo in Quebec, only speaking English, it's because I don't want to learn French. I have no intention. I want to be an Anglo. I enjoy my English, and I enjoy my awareness, and I think I would like to show and tell the world to enjoy your own awareness too. Whoever you are, whatever you're doing it for a reason. There are no mistakes in what you're doing. You're picking up ideas that can run contrary to your memories. Anything artificial, anything a lie, anything. Okay, here's a good thing to think about. Gratitude. Let's look at the word gratitude. First of all, to be grateful, you have to be grateful to somebody, right? Who are you grateful to? Think about the word. It conjures up images of an outside God or source that you are grateful to. That is an outside God. Now think about this new word, okay, and introduce it to your brain and keep it there, embed it. And the word is appreciation. When I go out and I'm walking the old cobblestone streets of ancient Quebec City, where I have memories and awareness of walking cobblestones before and learning Latin before, and all of these other memories come flooding through me when I appreciate. Do you understand the difference? I, I, I feel an appreciation, not a gratitude. And it's appreciation for what I am able to manifest out of nothing. And we all can when we're aware that we don't have anything to learn, that we are enough as we are. And so I'll have to be enough as an English speaker in Quebec. And if I'm not enough, you're going to learn about more fear and more judgment, and how, contrary to growth, you're even getting. Like, it's not even, you're not even growing. It's like backpedaling and not remembering. And so you'll come back. You'll just come back and do it again and again. You don't remember how terrible it is when we live in other people's images of God and not be. I am. I am enough. I am never born and I never die. I am enough. And I know it all. Yes, I do. And you can say that when you're aware. And the answers come to you when you guess. And you'll know it's the right answer because you feel it. Like you feel the appreciation of things around you. Like I just bought new lace curtains for my dwelling, my garden apartment in Quebec City. I feel such an appreciation for vintage lace. Like it just, I feel so good around it. And I have it now in my garden apartment. Lace curtains. And it is so simple, life. It's about creating your own environment within your own awareness and living in appreciation over gratitude. You don't go into debt. You just just keeps getting better when you're aware. There is no birth. There is no death. And we do come from one source. We are the source we need. Be honest. Be humble. And be yourself. Always.